Good morning. This video is very late, and I'm sorry about that. I had to go do some things this morning, and I went to the pet store, and they're supposed to open at 10 o'clock, and they didn't open at 10:30, and it took me over a half an hour to walk. It takes me a long time to walk home. It's uphill, and I'm not that young as I used to be. And then I did my live video because it was late. And again, a slight delay in hooking up, so uh, this is, this is my life, people. So, let's see, I've talked about a lot of different things. Let me check something out first, all right? Yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll go back there. Let's see. The oil prices are stuck in triple digits as Israel strikes Iran during the Persian New Year. I thought it was Palestinian New Year. I said in my live video, it's Persian New Year, and it's just it's not a good situation. I mean, Israel's doing what. Here we go. Here we go. Israel's doing what it wants to do, and there we are. And they don't care, and they're committing genocide, and they don't care. And they're causing all kinds of problems. Why does it keep doing that? Alright, stay there. Now it's gone completely. I keep losing my screen for the. I don't know how the hell it goes there. Okay, now we have that. Let's see if we can go back to where we were. There we are. Okay, now we take this and we move it over here like this. And it does the same fucking thing again. So we're not going to do that. Okay? We're not going to move it anywhere. Just stay there. I don't understand this, but I do understand this, that analysts are warning to keep the prices high for years as the energy infrastructure is damaged in the region and the Strait of Hormuz is effectively shut. Yeah and no. I think what it'll do is it'll drive up the production of electric cars, which Trump doesn't like. And what else? Solar panels, wind turbines, and everything. Whoa, what's this? Chuck Norris has passed away, folks. Walker, Texas Ranger has left the building. Oh, man. Trump administration is suing Harvard, alleging school didn't protect Jewish students as settlement talks go nowhere. That's bullshit. And that's what Harvard's telling them, too. I don't think they can beat Harvard in a court of law, a legitimate court of law. Depends how much money Harvard wants to spend. And then, but anyhow, I don't know. By the way, people, happy spring, okay? Happened about an hour ago. I didn't get to do it. I wanted to be there when it happened, but I couldn't make it. Yeah. I told you that story yesterday where the real possum was found in the plush animals. That's a cool story, folks. I like that story. It's a human interest story. I like stuff like that, but we don't have enough of it. This car really sucks. That's why it costs $1.3 million. It must use a lot of gas. Oh, there's always you film there. Concerts, they've got going on. A top FEMA official is going to teleporting is no fun. This guy has a very strange mind, and he has a violent rhetoric about Democrats. He looks like somebody that should, walk into a sledgehammer again and again and again. And the coin that Trump's making for the 250th anniversary, which I'm sure is going to have his face all over it more than anything. It won't be about America. It'll be about Donald Trump. It has to be as large as they can possibly make it. Well, hopefully it'll fail, but I'm sure that there's Republicans lining up to buy it now. It'll be worth something in the future. It's like Hitler stuff sells. So Trump stuff will sell in the future. A lot of Nazi memorabilia is worth a lot of money. I don't know who gets the money, but, it's usually soldiers brought a lot of stuff home. Weaponry, swords, things like that. So, now, we're not going to have to worry about an overpopulation when this crap goes away over in the Mideast there, because there won't be a population problem, because they'll all be dead. Here we go. Trump calls NATO allies cowards. Well, I think they're smart because Trump doesn't want to use American soldiers because then he'll have the American people protesting even more. So, he wants to keep the soldiers here so that they can, support ICE and whatnot and their bullshit stuff. So he doesn't want to send them over there. But 2,200 Marines and 3 warships headed for the Middle East. Give me a break, folks. 2,200 Marines. I don't think that's going to work out real well. I love the Marines. I really do. I think they're our best fighting unit, and they're some of the best soldiers in the world. But it's different war. You're not trained to kill little kids that are carrying bombs. That's a different story, and that messes you up. It's not so much what happens at the battle; it's what happens after the battle that affects these guys. You're standing there, and the guy next to you gets his head blown off, and he's 2 inches away from you. That's what That's what makes people crazy. And then we'll have to deal with those when they come back. And of course, Trump's gutted all the protection services and everything like that for these people, for the veterans. So, nuclear watchdog chief says a lot has survived Iran's nuclear capabilities. Well, how is that possible? Trump said it was completely destroyed. See, they're talking about how Israel assassinates its foes. They just say their intelligence is so much better. The 2 best intelligence agencies in the world have been for years, and this was read about this years ago. This has been for years. This isn't something brand new. Are the Mossad and the Jesuits within the Catholic Church, because they've been in place wherever they are for years. Some of them 50, 60, second, third generation family, and they operating within a certain area. And that's, that's something we're not aware of or don't pay attention to. Federal commission, yeah, it's federal commission made up of Trump appointees, approves his design for his gold coin. God, I hate this man. ICE detainee deaths on record pace with Afghan man on latest to die. What's the record pace? Let me see this. How many people have died in ICE custody? Says it's a 20-year high. ICE hasn't been around. ICE deaths are at a 2-decade high. ICE, I don't think ICE has been here 20 years. Not as ICE, as a immigration, Department of Immigration's been there. 12 people have died this year. That's far too many. Alright, you know me. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I don't know what else I could talk about. Yeah, that stuff's boring. So I think I'm just gonna make this a 12, 13-minute video, something like that, I just, I had a lot of views last two days ago on 17th and 18th. I don't know how I did that. I think people were looking to see if I would say anything about St. Patrick's Day. I have a tendency to say stuff on the holidays, and people come back to look at that, or they want to know about the holiday. St. Patrick's Day, I was a bartender, and it was safer working, trust me. But you could do 3 or 4 times the volume of business, sometimes a lot more than that you would do on a normal night, or especially if it's a weekend like a Friday. You would be absolutely berserk. From the time you opened in the morning till, say, from 11 in the morning till 2 in the morning. And when you checked your tips, you wouldn't have made that. You maybe made $25, $30 if you were lucky, more per shift in tips, because they didn't tip, they just drank. And most of these people that drink, especially if you're working in a tavern or something like that, they drink until they have no money left, And it's very stressful because you have to watch out for the drunks, because if they're overserved, even on St. Patrick's Day, the police watch that. That's how they get their fines. That's how they close down bars they don't like. And they didn't like us down at the Rusty Scupper because I threw a couple of the cops out. So, we had to deal with that. But, so I know about St. Patrick's Day. It's just another bad day. It's like Mother's Day. You do we used to average about 400, 500 dinners on a Saturday night. Mother's Day, especially the first one, we did 2,000. And my tips were exactly $6 more than they were on a normal Sunday. And we did 2,000 covers. That's just fucking ridiculous. That's why people, after that first Mother's Day, people put in for the following Mother's Day off. A year in advance. Nobody wanted to work. Of course, half those people weren't there a year later, so we didn't have to worry about that. But, You know, people just, they don't understand. Mother's Day is the worst day in the world. It's the busiest day. It's one of the best days, but it's one of the most stressful days. And it's the number one or number two day in the restaurant business. New Year's Eve is right up there now, too, with that, you know. And everybody thinks, well, well, if you're talking about the bar business, isn't Super Bowl Sunday worth it? Most places close. They either do private parties or closed. You know, where you have 100 people or something like that come in and watch the game, because it gets expensive. You got to put more TVs into the place. You've got to be prepared for a lot of trouble. You know, and there's gambling. You have to watch gambling. You have to watch too many things. You know, it's just stupid. All right, listen up. That's it for me today. I know I'm real late with this one. I don't know if anybody will watch this one. I have no idea what's going on tomorrow. My wife just told me that her problem is they're recommending medulla transplant or something like that. I said, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. All right, everybody take care. I got to go look some stuff up, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.